Hello everyone, Daria here, and welcome to episode number 49 of the Slow Russian Language Podcast. Today I had absolutely different plans for this episode, but as you probably know, yesterday it was a dark day for Russia, terrible day. It was another terrorist attack, this time in St. Petersburg, subway again. And many people died, many people were injured, and I don't even have words for this cruelty, for the stupidity of some people. It's just, something I will never understand. So today it's certainly not the day to have fun, but I don't want to talk about terrorism and all that stuff. So let's just talk about St. Petersburg in general. It's my most beloved city in Russia. I love it. I don't know how to say it in English. With my heart and soul. I lived there for almost 3 years. I met my husband there, my best friends there. And this place is seriously one of the best places in the world. So I've written a short text about this city, and as usual, first I'll read it in slow Russian, and after that we'll translate it sentence by sentence. Санкт-Петербург – это один из самых крупных городов России, а также ее культурная столица. У него несколько прозвищ. Северная столица, Северная Венеция, Северная Пальмира. Обычно мы называем его просто Питер. Основанный в 1703 году Петром Великим, этот город стал столицей Российской империи на более чем 200 лет. Сегодня Петербург считается самым красивым городом в России. Его прекрасные дворцы, крепости, соборы впечатляют всех, кто приезжает туда. And that's it. Now let's try to translate it. The first sentence. Санкт-Петербург – это один из самых крупных городов России. St. Petersburg is one of the biggest cities of Russia. We've had this adjective many times. I mean, крупный, and it's a synonym of большой. Speaking about the city, we usually say крупный город, meaning big city, large city. Крупный город. But also it can be anything, maybe big nose, крупный нос, or maybe some bulky woman, крупная женщина. So it means large, крупный. And the second part of this sentence, а также ее культурная столица, as well as its cultural capital. Ее means Russian, because Russia is feminine in our language. Она – Россия, and он – Санкт-Петербург. And its cultural capital. Культурная столица. So capital is столица. For example, London is a capital of Great Britain. London – столица Великобритании. And by the way, with this phrase we have a very common joke. I mean, the phrase London is the capital of Great Britain. You may have met it on our internet. It's something like, I've been studying English for 10 years in school, but everything I learned is London is the capital of Great Britain. In Russian, it's Я учил английский 10 лет. Но все, что я помню, London is a capital of Great Britain. Because this phrase is the beginning of a so-called topic. Learning English in school, we have several topics. It's nothing special, just as usual, my family, my school, my hobby, and of course, Great Britain, because it's English. And it's standard for almost all Russian schools, so the first sentence was, London is the capital of Great Britain. So everyone knows this sentence. Okay, sorry, got a little sidetracked. Capital. Столица. Capital of Russia is Moscow. Москва. Столица России. And St. Petersburg is the cultural capital. Культурная столица. Mostly it's a stereotype, of course. We have many jokes about people from St. Petersburg being all super cultural, even having their own language. Maybe I'll make another episode about it because it's very funny. But anyways, it's an almost official name, cultural capital. Культурная столица. And the next sentence. У него несколько прозвищ. Северная столица. Северная Венеция. Северная Пальмира. It has several nicknames. Northern Capital, Northern Venice, Northern Palmyra. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. In Russian, it's Palmyra, another amazing ancient city recently destroyed by terrorists, unfortunately. And St. Petersburg is being called that way. So it's Северная столица, Northern Capital, Северная Венеция, wonderful Italian city, Venezia. And this comparison comes from Petersburg canals. Again, I'm not sure. Canal in Russian, it's kanal, and it's that human-made water passages, kind of small rivers inside the city. There are dozens of them in St. Petersburg, so in summer it's very beautiful there. And the next sentence. Обычно мы называем его просто Питер. Usually we call it simply Питер. And it's true, almost everyone calls this city Питер. Maybe some really old citizens will be insulted, offended to hear that. Some people even call it Leningrad still. So the city of Lenin. It was in the Soviet Union. St. Petersburg was Leningrad. So don't be surprised when in older books and older movies they use the word Leningrad. It's St. Petersburg. And why am I saying this? Because it's obvious for Russians, but many foreigners become really confused with that. So Leningrad – это Санкт-Петербург. And in everyday life it's Питер. Питер. And the next sentence. Основанный в 1703 году Петром Великим. Sorry, something's wrong with my voice again. So it was founded by Peter the Great in 1703. Этот город стал столицей Российской империи на более чем 200 лет. This city became a capital of the Russian Empire for more than 200 years. It's quite a long sentence, so let's divide it into parts. The first one – Основанный Петром Великим в 1703 году. So Peter the Great founded this city. And it was a huge project, and thousands of people died building it. We have a well-known quote that St. Petersburg is built on bones. Санкт-Петербург построен на костях, on the bones, because thousands and thousands of people died building it. And Peter the Great is a very famous figure in our history. I hope soon we'll talk about him. Just outstanding person. Completely changed Russian history. And the second part of this sentence, this city became a capital of the Russian Empire. Этот город стал столицей Российской империи. Yes, Russia was an empire. And Peter the Great was the first Russian emperor. Before him we had czars, цари, like Ivan the Terrible, Tsar Ivan Грозный. And Peter the Great became emperor. Петр император. Император Петр Великий. Emperor Peter the Great. And Moscow stopped being the capital. St. Petersburg was one of the brightest capitals of Europe in those times. And the next paragraph. Сегодня Петербург считается самым красивым городом в России. Today Petersburg is considered the most beautiful city in Russia. The verb считается, I guess you may know the verb считать as to count. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, раз, два, три, четыре, пять, считать. Считать до 3. Раз, два, три. But also the verb считать is a synonym of думать. For example, я думаю, что Петербург самый красивый. Or мне кажется, что Петербург самый красивый город. And like here, я считаю Петербург красивым. And the next sentence. Его прекрасные дворцы, крепости, соборы впечатляют всех, кто приезжает туда. Its wonderful palaces, fortresses, cathedrals impress everyone who comes there. So first, прекрасные дворцы. Прекрасный means wonderful, very beautiful. Прекрасная девушка means very beautiful girl. Not just someone pretty, but very beautiful. Прекрасная. And here I also wanted to talk about the verb впечатлять, to impress. Впечатлять. In English, we usually say, I'm impressed. Я впечатлен. Of course, you can say я впечатлен in Russian, but it doesn't sound natural. Usually we say впечатляет. So something impresses me. For example, in English, you would say, wow, you did great, I'm impressed. And in Russian, it would be, wow, ты молодец, впечатляет. So it's kind of something what you did impressed me. Впечатляет. So here, palaces, fortresses, and cathedrals impress everyone who comes there. Дворцы, крепости и соборы впечатляют всех, кто приезжает. Now let me read this text one more time, this time faster, and try to observe yourself. Do you understand it better? Here we go. Санкт-Петербург – это один из самых крупных городов России, а также ее культурная столица. У него несколько прозвищ. Северная столица, Северная Венеция, Северная Пальмира. Обычно мы называем его просто Питер. Основанный в 1703 году Петром Великим, этот город стал столицей Российской империи на более чем 200 лет. Сегодня Петербург считается самым красивым городом в России. Его прекрасные дворцы, крепости, соборы впечатляют всех, кто приезжает туда. And that was it. Now, instead of my normal outro, I want you to enjoy the unofficial hymn of St. Petersburg. It's a beautiful song. And don't forget to check out the show notes. I will put the lyrics there. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next episode of the Slow Russian Language Podcast. Bye-bye.
Город проснулся с утра, полупрозрачный, светлый, тысячи просек Петра, вымыты ливнем и ветром, стали на место мосты, вспыхнули острые шпили и закружили город петровской мечты. Санкт-Петербург, гордая белая птица, Санкт-Петербург, бронзовый царь и царица, Санкт-Петербург, славы российской столица, это частица, сердце частица, город наш Санкт-Петербург, между людей и машин, меж островов и каналов. Мы все куда-то спешим, между великим и малым, любим мы здесь и грешим, верим и рвемся к спасению, от поколения к поколению в городе нашей души. Санкт-Петербург, гордая белая птица, Санкт-Петербург, царь и царица, Санкт-Петербург, славы российской столица, это частица, сердце частица, город наш Санкт-Петербург. Грешим, верим и рвемся к спасению, от поколения к поколению в городе нашей души. Санкт-Петербург, гордая белая птица, Санкт-Петербург, бронзовый царь и царица, Санкт-Петербург, славы российской столица, это частица, сердце частица, город наш Санкт-Петербург. Санкт-Петербург, гордая белая птица, Санкт-Петербург, бронзовый царь и царица, Санкт-Петербург, славы российской столица, это частица, сердце частица, город наш Санкт-Петербург.